Alrighty, so it's about 1 a.m. I'm coming off the high from UFC Dominic Reyes, Carlos Olberg. Even though we got knocked out in the first round, I'm going to be breaking down the next event being UFC 320 here on Tapology. If you're wondering what side I'm breaking this down on, Magomed Ankalaev taking on Alex Pereira within the same year, okay? Now the rematch, I think we could all agree is deserved. But within the same year, guys, I mean, guys, we're fed for content this year, guys. You know, I would have predicted Magomed Ankalaev to not fight till the October after this, because we know how the Cliff likes to play it. But I'm glad we're getting Magomed Ankalaev twice in 1 year, taking on Alex Pereira in the rematch. Then we got Merab Dvalishvili versus Corey Sandhagen. Technically, on paper, guys, okay, you know, one of these guys is a fucking crackhead phenom, alright? He's got the beakers, he's got the test tubes, and the other one is dumber than a bag of bricks, and he'll walk into everything, but we'll get to that when we get to that. And then we got Jiri Prochazka. This fight right here, this is a people's main event. We can all agree here. Jiri Prochazka, Khalil Roundtree, and then we got a bunch of other people that we'll get to. So we'll start from the bottom, go from the top. Veronica Hardy versus Brogan Walker. Who the fuck is this broad? She's got a nice she's got some nice assets now from what I'm seeing. Okay. Yeah, if you don't know, I do this very high level, very high tech method. Okay, I take my predictions very seriously, unless they come to the women's fight. You know, some people, they use the pick doctor, you know, or AI, however you want to say it. We Want Pick, shout out to We Want Picks. It's a YouTube channel I watch often, great YouTube channel. Some people use logic and reasoning, like MMA Guru, Bedtime MMA, you know, Lucas Tracy, those types, you know. I myself have been very much enjoying the tried and true method of, and I did come prepared this time, a coin flip, baby. Let's fucking go. Heads is the woman on the left, tails is the woman on the right. Let's see what we get, ladies and gentlemen. We got heads. That's the left. Right? Heads. Yeah. I said, yeah. Oh, Veronica. Hey, the coin is cooking right now. For record-wise, coin went 1-1 on the last card. I think the card before that, it went 1-0. And the card before that, it also went 1-1. Some shit like that. Or there wasn't a women's fight. Don't care. Regardless, I'm going to say the coin's up, even though I don't know the stats. But we're going to go Veronica Hardy here, because this coin has spoken. And at the end of the day, why would you go against a coin? And obviously, vintage 29-28 split decision. We move on to real MMA fights. Ramiz Brahimaj versus Austin Vanderford. And funny thing about Ramiz Brahimaj here, I was so close to picking him in the Billy Ray Goff fight. And if you don't know, the narrative was Billy Ray Goff is going to beat the living piss out of Ramiz Brahimaj. Ramiz, I think, dropped out of his fight at the time. Billy Ray Goff had a opponent fall out, and then this matchup was made. It was a really weird situation. And I was thinking, like, bro, Ramiz, what was his last fight? Mickey Gall? Ugh. Oh, it was the Themba fight I was thinking of. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Ramiz Brahimaj is a really good grappler, and by really good, I mean unranked level at welterweight. You know, yeah. The thing though is that Ramiz is one of these guys who looks yoked, but he is like slow. He's got good grappling though, and I was so close to picking him against Billy Ray Goff because I tasted a submission win, and he ended up getting the submission win. But I was like, you know what? Let's go against my opinion and go with the local narrative because, you know, everyone's telling me I'm wrong, you know. So, you know, since then I've grown some testosterone. I've decided to stay on my shield a little bit more. He's taking on Austin Vanderford. Austin Vanderford, you know, he's beat yeah, he's beat you know, he's been to LF No One Asked, you know, he's been to Bella No One Cares. Yeah, you know? Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are rating Austin Vanderford. I don't see it. You know, I don't know. Like, I've only seen his debut. I only watch UFC. I don't watch these like bum leagues. I've been watching Contender Series recently. Great fights. But I don't know, man. Am I really gonna rate a Nikolay Vretnikov? If I'm not mistaken, this guy's like more of a grappler. Like, he's a little bit more of a wrestler. But why do I just taste the guillotine? Like, anyone else feel like this is gonna be one of those fights where Austin shoots a really shit takedown and gets guillotined? Because Ramiz is kind of like an Andre Muniz, but down a weight class. Is Andre Muniz? Andre Muniz might be fighting on this card. That's why I'm thinking of him. It's a tough one. Ramiz is a big dude, though. Like, thickness-wise, you know? I imagine these guys are going to be the same fucking height. Oh, this is a tough one, actually. I know these are B leagues, but I'm actually kind of interested in this. Because if Ramiz gets a win here, you know, Themba Gorimbo lost. Like, he got out-grappled, and Themba was, like, sick at the time. But Themba's a big, long fucking dude, you know? I don't know if I can trust a 35-year-old Austin Vanderford to do the same things Themba Gorimbo was, you know? Court McGee, though, that's 4 years ago. Who cares? Bro, he looked really good in his Billy Ray Goff performance. And Mickey Gall does suck, but, like, it's a win, you know what I mean? Oh, man. I'm gonna go with Rami's submission round 1. I'm gonna do it just because I smell just Austin shooting a bad takedown and getting fucking subbed. Like Kimura from bottom, fucking, you know, reverse positioned into a guillotine, similar to what we just saw Jake Matthews, Neil Magny happen. Like, I can see ways for Ramiz to get a submission off a guy who's like kind of shit at getting a takedown. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ramiz. I'm not that confident. I'm not gonna be betting for sure. This is one of those like coin flip fights. I think this should be near evens in my opinion. This should be like minus 150. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, Austin should be a heavy favorite here. You know, he's beat absolutely fucking nobody. So exactly, but you know, I'm gonna go with Brahimaj. I just think he is like skill wise. I think he's there. You know. Like the Themba fight, I swear there was something weird going on with Ramiz, but that could have been because I was thinking like of Themba being sick. But I don't know, it's an interesting one. I'm gonna go with Brahimaj. This is gonna be like a scout. I think Brahimaj is like technically good. This will be that test. If he can't submit Austin Vanderford off a bad takedown, then it's gonna be time for me to hop off the train. But I do think Ramiz is a big dude. I think he's a thick dude. I think he's going to look like the thicker dude out there. And you kind of have to have like a weird reach or like you got to be long and lengthy and able to like unexpectedly hit this guy and get takedowns. You know, reverse position. Like you got to be really good in the jiu-jitsu. I think Vanderford's going to be a fucking wrestler, not a jiu-jitsu guy. So yeah, I think Ramiz is going to sub him, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm interested. Moving on, we have Punahele Soriano versus Nikolay Vretnikov. Didn't this guy just lose to this guy? Why the fuck is this guy above him? What are we doing in the UFC? Like, are we taking this shit seriously? Anyways, I guess we're just... Anyways. Knockout on Uros Medic, eh? That's pretty good. That's really good. That's when he smoked him in round 1, I want to say, right? Uros Medic. So, let's do some live Uros Medic. This is when he got fucked up in round 1, right? Like, he got absolutely destroyed, if I'm not mistaken. It was like a bink right in the button. Oh my god, my internet. And this Nikolay Vretnikov... Oh, he almost lost that fight. That was a fight that was like so... That was really like Vretnikov won that because of size. That was all that was. And this is... Oh, we finally got it. Was that... Yeah, it was... He got smoked instantly. That's what it was, yeah. That's what I remember. Uros Medic is like a fucking live on the sword, die by the sword type of dude. I don't think Vretnikov's that, but Vretnikov looked like shit in this Prado fight. He looked like he couldn't finish a fight. Prado's tough, to be fair. Oof. Danny fucking Barlow, mate. This is the problem. Like, he has a split decision with Danny Barlow, where he could have arguably got it. But then this... Oh, man. I'm gonna go based off the one I just saw. I can't believe, like, he took some big shots, he landed some big shots. But this was very much like oh, he won that because of size. Like, he was able to out-jab Prado, he was able to, like, out-muscle Prado in certain areas. And that was just because Prado's arguably a fucking featherweight. Alright? But yeah, I'm gonna go with Punahele. He arguably lost that fight too. Arguably. You could have given that to Prado. Arguably. But I'm gonna give it to Punahele here. I reckon he probably gets it done via decision. Punahele, he's looked okay so far. You know, getting subbed by Dustin Stoltzfus, that's not really that bad of a loss. Dustin Stoltzfus is low-key underrated. Roman Kopylov, one of my more favorited strikers to watch when he's not fighting high-ranked opponents. You know, it's not really a... Again, it's not really... That's a more in prime Roman Kopylov as well. You know, that guy, yeah, you know. I don't know if Punahele's that good. Like, skill-wise, I don't think either of these guys are good. But who's more likely to survive and go tit for tat and be in a war and make it a war? I think Punahele, like, in every category, outbeats Veretnikov. I think Veretnikov's just... He kind of just outmuscles people when he wins or when he looks good, you know, and that's about it, you know. So I don't know if he's going to be able to do that to Punahele. We could see Nicolay, like, hold him against the fence, and we might get a weird split decision again, because that's kind of what Nicolay does. He doesn't make it clear when he can. Like, this is why I hate these fucking low-level B-League. Oh my god, it pisses me off with these low-level, dumb IQ fighters that will just stare. One low kick. I'm gonna stare at you. Retarded shit. Anyways, moving on. We have Patchy Mix. It's this low on the card? Holy shit. I assume this is in fight order. Wow. Damn. The fall off gotta be studied. This guy was talking about submitting Mario Batista's whole fucking team. He's saying Volk's days are numbered. Yeah, buddy. Or no, that was, who said that? I'm thinking of that other guy who got Aaron Pico. I'm thinking of Aaron Pico. I think Patchy Mix did say he was going to submit Mario Batista's whole team. Yeah, good fucking luck there, buddy. Good old blockhead Patchy Mix taking on Jakub Wicklack? Some shit like that. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Like, who the fuck? Bruno Santos? That's the most, like, Brazilian NPC name I've ever heard. It's like naming your son John Smith. Like, what are we doing? Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about this kid. He looks young. He's shorter than Patchy Mix. But I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. More of a reach. What gym? Like, what the fuck is this, man? 16-3, so he's lost. What is this? A unanimous technical decision, but why is it DQ'd? Why is that drawed? What is this? Unanimous technical, I don't know what that means. Wow, people are high on Patchy Mix here, eh? Minus 250 favorite? Interesting. Well, these are two relatively... I don't know who the fuck these guys are, you know? I really haven't seen the Patchy Mix that everyone's crediting, that everyone's like, this guy's a world level clapper, like, blah, 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 blah. This guy could be he's the best Bellator fighter to ever come out of Bellator. Like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Like, I really don't. I've seen him fight Mario Bautista, and this guy looked like he didn't know what a takedown was. And he also looked like his head was made out of cement, and there's a 500-pound dumbbell on each one of his feet. This guy does not fucking move his head. He doesn't know what fucking, what is it called? Foot movement is, bro. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what footwork is, bro. He's never heard of it. So, I'm gonna say that the guy who is getting kind of in a way, a number one, like, if Patchy Mix beat Mario Bautista, they would have probably done Patchy Mix against Merab after Merab whoops Corey Sandhagen type of situation, or it would have been Patchy Mix for a number one contender against someone. I'm going to go with Patchy Mix. People talk about him, big ups. This might be a Pitbull situation where they give him an NPC and he'll probably beat the NPC. But he's just not UFC ranked level. You know, I don't know who this Jacob Wilcock is. And he kind of... That's, yeah. I mean, I saw his lips and I instantly just knew this guy's like Polish or some RDR variant type situation. You know? But... yeah, whatever that is. But, yeah, I'm gonna go with Patchy Mix. You know, I at least see that he had the ability to not get finished. And to be fair, Mario Bautista in moments was like kind of scared to get in there against Patchy Mix. And I'm not trying to like big up Patchy Mix by any means, but I mean, that kind of speaks to like Mario's really good at like smothering people. It wasn't smothering Patchy Mix. So I don't know if it's like, you know, Patchy Mix got aura when you're in the cage and you just don't want to take him down. But I guess we'll find out and see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to go with Patchy Mix. I don't really care too much about this fight. If Patchy Mix loses, I don't give a fuck. He's a bum in my eyes, and I guess he's just going to be another bum. Moving on, we have Macy Chasson versus Yana Santos. So Macy Chasson. Jimmy King. Can you get my Macy Chasson? Yeah, I'm just gonna coin flip this. Why the fuck am I thinking about it? Heads on the left, tails on the right. What do we got? Heads on the left. Fuck. She's the favorite? How? She looks like shit in every fight. Yeah, that was a doctor stoppage, and she was losing that fight. What? Why is she the favorite? What? Huh? What? Why the fuck is... I don't understand women's MMA. We're just gonna go Macy Chasson 29-28. I don't give a fuck. In my opinion, Macy Chasson sucks. She's weak. She's easy to bully. You can push her around. Yana Santos can get takedowns. Macy Chasson is pretty bad at defending takedowns, but I guess we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean... I don't give a fuck. Moving on, Daniel Santos versus Ju Sang Yu. Daniel Santos, eh? Oh, Zombie Jr.'s fighting. Hey, okay, let's fucking go. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm excited now. Okay, we got Korean Zombie Jr. taking on Daniel Santos. This guy's good. Now, I know he's like B-League. You probably don't know his name. He probably looks like a generic NPC Brazilian. And he doesn't help his case by dyeing his hair white. But this guy is fucking good. Like, technique-wise, this guy is kind of a killer. You know, this Juliet Ars fight, that was before my time. But the John Castaneda one, I was there for it. That was a sick fight. Johnny Munoz Jr. Bro, this guy put on a clinic. And then, Young Lee. Yeah, was also a really sick performance. Yeah, this guy's really good. He's fast. He's good in his combos. He's good in and out of the pocket. He's got really good ability to, like, bounce back and forth. He's really, really good. Oof. His takedown defense, if I remember correctly, lacks, but he's good at, like, working when he gets put on his ass. But do we believe in the Korean Zombie Jr. at the 31-year-old mark? 9-0. This is the thing. He did just sleep someone, and it was a sick KO, don't get me wrong. But people forget, man, Jekka Sarigi is fucking terrible. Like a shit. He's so bad. Jekka Sarigi, you have to, like, get a fucking microscope. You have to get a fucking, what are those called? A magnifying glass. In order to find the level of low dog shit competition that Jekka Sarigi is. This guy's got no chin. He's got no technique. He's a retard. Alright? Ju Sang Yu did what he needed to do and he slept him in round 1. He's not sleeping Daniel Santos. In my mind, I'm going to be shocked if Ju Sang Yu sleeps Daniel Santos. I think this is probably going to be a war back and forth. I'm going to go with Daniel Santos. Not confident at all. This is the real debut for Ju Sang-yu. This is where we find out, is this guy actually going to be able to avenge Korean Zombie Jr.? Or Korean Zombie? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be able to get to the belt. He's 31. He's in the B leagues. He'd literally have to sleep Santos in like a very impressive fashion, whooping his ass. Don't think that's going to happen. He's got a very wide stance. And he will let you run into him. I think Daniel Santos is going to be too fast. He's not Jekka. He's not like a fucking stick man running into you. You know what I mean? Like, Daniel Santos is legit skilled, and he's legit fucking sick. So this fight, I think, is going to be sick. I'm going to go with Daniel Santos via decision. I reckon it's going to be 29. No, I think it's going to be 30-27. I think Daniel Santos is going to win round 1. By the end of round 1, it's going to be like, ooh, that one's kind of close, but I reckon they're going to give it to Santos. And then we're going to get into round 2 and 3, and Santos is just going to look better and better and better as the fight goes on. And I'm basing this off of, we don't know Sang-yu yet, you know, we don't know how he is against like legit like level comp. You know, Daniel Santos is kind of like a Charles Johnson, or like a it's another good way to describe it. Who's like a Dave, not a Davy Grant. Am I thinking of Davy Grant because he fought? No. He's kind of like he's a tough like gatekeeper for unranked, you know? If you beat him, you'll probably be ranked. If you can't beat him, I guess that's not true, because Julio Arce would never, I don't think he's ever been ranked, but that was debut jitters. It is what it is, you know? But you have to like beat him in order to like become something. But if you get matched with him, like it's a rough night out, you know? So I'm gonna go with Santos. I reckon he gets it done. We'll see what happens. Moving on, we have Farid Basharat, the good Basharat brother, versus Chris Gutierrez. Holy shit. What are these odds, man? Yo, these odds are crazy for this card. What the fuck? Really, they're this high on this guy who just beat Victor Hugo in a fucking unimpressive decision. Taylor Lapillus. A decent win, I guess, but alright. Yeah. I don't even rate Damon Blackshear. Like, I don't... Man, Damon Blackshear is a weird situation. He's a legit skilled guy, but it's hard to rate because, like, he will just loot. Like, I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's, you know, it's one of those things. But regardless, this is interesting. Wait, is this up a weight class? John Castaneda, Quang Lee... Why is it 46? Oh, that's because the John Castaneda one. That one was, I think, 10 pounds up. But yeah, this should be at bantamweight. I'm hoping, yeah, it's gonna be at bantamweight. Thank fuck. Chris Gutierrez is good. He's really good at doing the boring shit where he just, when you hit him, you'll hit good, but he's typically tough enough to survive. Like, you'll land a nice right hand, he'll land 20 low kicks by the time you've landed a nice right hand, you know? Or you're trying to find the distance, you're trying to get in there. He's really good at, like, maybe not stuffing takedowns. How do I describe it, man? He's really good at being boring, but, like, winning while being boring, you know? Like, I think sometimes he shot takedowns in one of his other fights recently. I swear I remember him being on top position. He will give up, but he seems to only give up against high-level comp. You know, like, he gave up against Song Yadong straight up. He got laid on for a bit, and he's like, ref, get this guy off me. Or whenever it looks like an eye poke is happening, he'll take an eye poke, sit out time. Like, if you cheat, you're not getting away with it with this guy. So, Chris Gutierrez is a little bit interesting situation. He's really boring. He's tough so far. It's kind of like, when is this guy going to get cracked and put out? That's kind of how I see Chris Gutierrez. I don't think Farid Basharat's putting this guy out. If Song Yadong and a few other guys he's fought can't really find good ways to get a submission in, I don't think Farid Basharat's all that. I think this is where Farid gets his first loss. I think it's going to be a split 29-28, and it's going to be vintage Chris Gutierrez. Yeah, split. Unanimous. I swear he's got more splits. Or maybe I'm thinking like they should have been splits, but they weren't or something like that. But I think we're going to get a vintage like 29-28 Chris Gutierrez. Similar to, I think, what I predicted with John Castaneda or Quang Lee. Yeah, I think this is just like Chris all day, every day. I don't know. Fareed Basharat also looks weak. Like, I know his brother Javid looks like a twink. But, like, Fareed also looks like a twink. Like, he's bigger than his brother, but not by much, you know? American top team is also kind of falling off. This guy has a heavy reach, but he stands pretty wide. He doesn't really use his reach that well, in my opinion. He's going to be shorter out there. Yeah, I think Chris Gutierrez is just going to pepper that fucking low kick on Fareed. You know, I can't think of a fight where Fareed's, like, really dealt with anyone who's done low kicks. You know, so I'm going to go with Chris Gutierrez via decision. Maybe finds a finish, like a weird body kick, leg kick type of finish where Fareed just gets kicked too much and he ends up going down to it. Some weird like that, but I think a decision's pretty safe with Chris Gutierrez. I don't know why he's such a big underdog. I really don't. I don't rate Fareed Basharat that much, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anyways, moving on. Edmund Shabazian versus Andre Muniz. This is going to be nice, short, and simple. Listen, I know Edmund had a shit performance against Andre Petroski, and Petroski just got smoked, okay? But that's just Edmund Shabazian. Sometimes he goes out there intending to take your head off, and sometimes he goes out there intending to survive 3 rounds. If we get any version of Edmund, I think he beats him everywhere. I think this is like grappling-wise, I'd rate these guys similarly. Maybe Andre Muniz has, like, the jiu-jitsu advantage. He definitely doesn't have the chin advantage. Definitely doesn't have the toughness advantage. He might have the size advantage in terms of thickness. But I've seen Andre Muniz lose way too many times. I can't pick him to do anything unless it's a fucking robbery or a fucking Uriah Hall. Are we serious? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I can't pick Andre Muniz to win a fight in Big 2025. This guy's looked like shit in every single one of his performances, you know? Gets finished pretty easy. I think this was... Yeah, he got fucked by Ikram Aliskerov. I reckon Edmund Shabazian's better than Ikram. Maybe that's a hot take. I think Edmund Shabazian... Now, this could be a Jake Matthews situation where we see round 1, round 2 go very well. And round 3, Andre Muniz gets a submission. You know, that's kind of where I would be leaning towards. If I'm on the Andre Muniz side, I'd be like round 3 submission. I just think Edmund Shabazian, he doesn't pace himself that well when he is like decision mode. And typically in round 3 is kind of a not great showing. And he's like bullyable when he's tired. But I think he's good enough to get this done. Probably even by KO. Or sub, to be honest with you. I think Andre Muniz might be like defensively irresponsible, thinking he's not gonna sub me, and then Shabazian like club and sub situation. You know, I think we get something like that. Maybe like a Tom Nolan situation against that guy he just fought. I can't remember the name, but yeah, you know, I reckon this could be a club and sub, or like Andre Muniz gets held against the cage or taken down or something. Edmund Shabazian gets a position, gets a nice sub. You know, like armbar type heel hook. Edmund, maybe not heel hook. I don't think he's that dumb to go for a heel hook, but you know, I think we're gonna see some type of sub from Edmund Shabazian, or sub attempt, I should say, early on, and we'll see if he gets it. So yeah, moving on. Ateba Guaterre versus Ozzy Diaz. I don't need to look at shit. I'm going Guaterre. This guy's flawless in the UFC. This guy looks unbeatable in the UFC because he's just knocking everybody out within seconds. I mean, there's not much else to say. This guy's a fucking killer. He's middleweight Francis Ngannou, or is this welterweight? Middleweight Francis Ngannou. God damn, he's minus 1,000. Jesus Christ, he's young. I think it's going to take like some guy to break this dude, or some guy to light this guy up, and then we see like a more hesitant Ateba Guaterre. So far right now, this kid's riding a high, and I think he's just fucking... He's feeling himself, and he's just going to go in there, all the confidence in the world, and just smoke Ozzy Diaz. Now, Ozzy Diaz can be tough, but I think he is chinny. Like, that's my thing. I do think this guy's chinny. I think he's, like, body-wise tough, though. If I'm a Ateba Guaterre, I'm going for the head, and if I don't knock this guy out within 3 punches, then we start working a little bit of the body work, and then we move back to the head, you know? That's about it. Yeah. Holy fuck, these guys are tall as shit. But yeah, Ateba, I think this is him all day, every day. Cameroonian silent assassin gets it done. Moving on, we have Joe Bodybags Pfeiffer versus Abus Magomedov, aka Sean Strickland sloppy seconds. I'm gonna go with Joe Pfeiffer. I'm not that confident in it though. There was a time where I was confident in Joe Pfeiffer. Even after the Jack Hermanson thing, I was still confident. The thing with Pfeiffer, he will quit. This is the thing. He's got no willpower. He will quit. If he's up in the... He will try to finish you in... This is Joe Pfeiffer in a nutshell. He will try to finish you in round 1. If he doesn't finish you in round 1, he's only concerned about point fighting with you. And that's it. You know? The Kelvin Gastelum, he masterclassed him in round 1. Round 2, it's like, I won that round, right? I won that round. It was a close fucking round. I won that round. I won that round? Okay. And round 3, he just took a fucking vacation. He wasn't even there. You know, lights were on, nothing was in there. You know? So I just think this guy's breakable. This guy's... I don't know if I'd say finishable. He's got underrated grappling because he trains with Sean Brady. I know that doesn't really mean too much, but I kind of rate it. I reckon body bags, no body cam, Pfeiffer, small peen Pfeiffer does get it done. I think he probably finishes Abus, to be honest with you. I think he does get the finish in round 1. Abus is kind of chinny. Oh, this might be like a bad style for Pfeiffer, though. Because Abus is really good at round 1, round 2 pace. But once he gets tired, he kind of eats shit. And it gets very sloppy very fast. So I'm pretty confident. I'm like 75% sure that Joe Pfeiffer gets it done. I think he'll probably chin Abus in round 1. Abus doesn't really have the best striking. I will say this, straight up, you can book it right now. This will be in the fucking highlight reel, okay? If Abus lands an eye poke in round 1, Abus wins the fight. He wins the fight. It doesn't matter what happens, he wins the fight. Because Joe Pfeiffer will get eye poked and he'll quit instantly. And when he loses, he'll be like, I got fucking eye poked, man. What am I supposed to do? I mean, these guys on the internet, man, they just don't understand. You know, when you get eye poked, it messes up your retina and you just can't see it, you know. So I'm going to go home to the house that, you know, Dana White bought me. Yeah, you know. And yeah, I think this guy's going to fucking quit the moment. If I'm Abus, I'm doing an illegal fucking nut shot. I'm doing an eye poke right off the bat. Minute 1. If I'm in middleweight and I get the call from big old bald man Dana and he's like, all right, you're fighting body bags in 2 months. Get ready. I'll be like, I bet. Round 1, with my coaches, I'm only training groin shots and eye pokes. And if I land 1, I've won the fight. This guy will quit. Joe Pfeiffer is the exact example of someone who quits the moment somebody else cheats. You know? It's like, it's not even worth playing against you. You know? It's like when you're 1v1ing someone and you agree, you know, DSR only, and the guy rocks a ballista and Black Ops 2, you know? And you get sniped, and you're just like, oh, you're fucking cheating, bro. All right, you're fucking cheating. All right, it's DSR only. Okay, it's not even worth playing anymore. You know, and Pfeiffer fucking chucks his controller, breaks it in half. Yeah, you know. So I'm gonna go with Joe Pfeiffer. Not that confident though. If Joe Pfeiffer is Joe Pfeiffer, he'll come out. He'll smoke Abus. Abus does a lot of striking like this. Very, like, not Sean Strickland, but his hands are not, like, around his fucking equilibrium. So I think Joe Pfeiffer is going to land a shot on the temple, and that's just going to put Abus out, like, instantly. And you're just going to see a corpse on the canvas. You know, Abus is technically good, so I don't mind his odds winning here. You know, his submission on Bruno... Wow, he's actually on a 3-fight winning streak. I didn't even realize that. The Michel Pereira performance was pathetic, but the Bruno Ferreira, great. I even picked a boost in the Michel Pereira one, I think. Walery Alvarez, who the fuck cares? But yeah, this should be Joe Pfeiffer all day, every day, but the moment someone cheats, he'll quit. So, we've seen it in the Jack Hermanson fight. We'll see it again. Yeah, so if it goes outside round 1, I'd start getting worried for Joe Pfeiffer, but I think we're good. Moving on, Josh Emmett versus Yusuf Zalon, mate. Yusuf fucking Zalal, eh? What are we doing, brother? Okay, we're tapping low kicks and running away. Are we role-playing Carlos Olberg when you're fighting Calvin Kattar? Genuine question, Yusuf Zalal. Is that what we're doing in Big 2025? We're role-playing light heavyweight skill? Really? Come on, you're featherweight. Lock the fuck in, brother. Come on. Yeah, Yusuf Zalal's normally a fucking warrior. His last performance against his first high-level opponent, other than Ilia Topuria, that's a crazy, his high-ranked performances are against Calvin Kattar and Ilia Topuria. His ranked fights. That's kind of insane, no? Anyways. Yeah, this should be Yusuf Zalal all day, every day. 3-rounder, no doubt in my mind. If this was 5 rounds, maybe. Yusuf's really fast. He's really explosive. He's got the submission game if Josh Emmett wants to try to take him down, which Josh Emmett doesn't really shoot takedowns anyways. And because Josh Emmett's the way he is, we literally just saw this fight. This will probably be like Calvin Kattar, Yusuf Zalal. It will almost be 1-to-1. Yusuf low kicks, runs away. Because you know who just had that fight against... You know what's a great example? That was the exact way he just lost to Lerone Murphy. He got low kicked, ran away. Low kicked, ran away. That's exactly what Yusuf Zalal is going to do. I'm not that worried. Saw this guy lose the same way this guy's going to fight, and I saw this guy win the same way he's going to fight. I mean, it's just... It's cut and dry in my opinion. I think it's very, very easy to look at these two fights and see who wins. I got Zalal by decision. Now, if he wants to put on a show, I'm not going to complain. I don't think it's really that risky swinging in the pocket with Josh Emmett. I think Josh Emmett will eventually go out. Like, if Zalal wants to finish Josh Emmett, I think he could. He just needs to be okay with taking damage. But I don't know if he I don't think Zalal's in the mindset where he's like, I'm going to take a shot to give one. You know what I mean? I think he's in the mindset, I made it to the top. Let me climb as much as I can and let me keep getting away with what I'm doing. I think that's why the Calvin Kattar fight was so dog shit. So, yeah, I think he's going to do the same way. I think he's going to do it very clear. I thought Zalal clearly won. I picked Zalal. I think he's going to do the same thing he just did. And Josh is going to lose the same way he just did. Yeah. Moving on. We have featured fight of the night. People's main event, ladies and gentlemen. Jiri Prochazka versus Khalil Roundtree. And I'm fucking done with this prick. Alright, Khalil Roundtree. We graduated with our masters. We are going to beat Khalil Roundtree. Yes, let's go for that. Yeah, I'm going with Jiri Prochazka. Fuck Khalil Roundtree. I'm tired of this prick in the top of my division. Get this motherfucker out of my goddamn ranks. I'm tired of it, okay? I don't know what was going on with Jamal Hill. That guy was a retard, alright? Jiri is the guy to get the hype train derailed. I'm so sick of people treating Khalil Roundtree like he's a legit contender. He got his ass cream pied by Alex Pereira, and he's going to get absolutely masterclass by Jiri Prochazka. Fuck Khalil. Now, with that being said, I do think Khalil is tough, but he's breakable. And what I mean by that is that you actually have to make him quit. There's a lot of people, when they take damage, they'll just quit. You know, if they get hit to the liver too much, they go down, sort of like Rakic in a way. You know? Khalil Roundtree, when he's wounded, he has a high guard and he sort of just waits for you to beat on him. And then he hopes he can get that fucking wild left hand, wild right hand. You know? His striking, I swear to God, has gotten worse since the Pereira fight. When he fought Jamal Hill, actually, I think his striking's gotten worse in the last, 3 fights. The Chris Daukaus one, I think, was probably peak Khalil. Anthony Smith one, that was a weak performance. Yeah, he finished him. That was short notice Smith, number 1. Number 2, he looked slow, he looked dumb, and Smith walked into his punches. Alex Pereira fight, he knocked him down, aka Alex Pereira went for a spinning wheel kick and got hooked mid-spinning. Therefore, he was kind of not on full balance, but it was a knockdown. Okay. But yeah, I'm sick of the Khalil glaze. This guy's not a #1 contender. This guy's not getting the belt, fighting for the belt anytime soon. Get fucking back to the B leagues with your dumbass Khalil Roundtree. I'm done with this fucking guy, bro. His 5-fight win streak is fraudulent. He robbed my boy Dustin Jacoby. He fucking illegally sidekicked Modestus Bukaki's knees, I think, is the fighter I'm thinking of. He illegally sidekicked them, resulting in that guy's career being ruined. Fuck this prick. Now, I am a Muay Thai guy, so, you know, a little Muay Thai striking, hey, it does tingle my balls a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, okay? I'm not gonna... When I see Khalil enter his flow state, I'm like, okay, you know, round 1 and 2, even though round 2, I think, is arguably he lost, it does tickle my balls a little bit when I see Khalil Roundtree strike. You know, when he's doing things properly. His Jamal Hill fight was weak. He was clip farming. He was literally like, I'm gonna wait for this guy to do something stupid, and then he goes for like a wild like hammer fist. It was, brother. Jiri Prochazka is going to make the timeline right. We are going to sleep Khalil Roundtree. This guy's almost 36 years old. Get this fucking old-ass bum out of here. He did get whooped by Pereira. This is the thing with Khalil. If you bring a war to Khalil, he will break. You know who's done that? Johnny fucking Walker. And who's a better Johnny Walker? Who's a more wild, dangerous, get in your face, risky fighter than Johnny Walker, who can actually take a shot? Jiri fucking Prochazka. Yes, Khalil Roundtree might be in the best shape of his life. It doesn't matter. Because he's not going to shoot takedowns, I'm not worried about Jiri getting taken down. Alright? If anything, Jiri could probably take this guy down and submit him if he wanted to. Khalil Roundtree's grappling has been tested by who? Smith? Fucking Modestus Bukaki? Like, no one's tested Khalil Roundtree's grappling in like 5 years. This guy probably's never even heard of a takedown. I do genuinely think Jiri Prochazka is better everywhere. I think his last performance against Jamal Hill was a sick performance, wicked. He will get in your face. He will take a shot. Yes, he might get wobbled pretty bad. Yes, he might get cracked. He knows what that is. He's been there. He lives in the war. Khalil Roundtree is not built for war. He's built for point fighting. He'll leg kick you, wait, stare at you, land a really slow left hand, hits like a truck, but then, you know, gets it back. Oy! Oy! Like, every time he strikes, it's literally like he's demonstrating for the fucking class, you know? It's slow, it's telegraphed, and yeah, it makes a big noise. That's about it. Who has this guy finished with punches? Anthony Smith? Wow, congrats. Do I think Jiri Prochazka's chin is better than Anthony Smith? Yeah. Do I think it's better than Jamal Hill's? Yeah. And Jamal Hill survived 5 rounds. This is 3 rounds. Even if this goes to the scorecards, I reckon Jiri can squeeze out 2 rounds. Do I think Yuri's going to get cracked? Yes. Do I think Yuri's going to get dropped? Possibly. Do I think Jiri will survive? Definitely. And when he survives, you're going to see Jiri get wobbled, and that's when phase 2 starts, buddy. Okay? Spinning elbow right on the temple. Get over here in the clinch. Yeah. Yeah, fucking, yeah, talks. Oh my, I can't wait for this fight. You have no idea. I do think round 3 is going to be very competitive, and I think at the first, like, 3 minutes, it's going to be slow. It's going to be like a feeling out, like Jiri, like, you know, trying to feint things, trying to get Khalil to, like, bite on something, and Khalil doing sort of the same thing. And by the closest to the end of the round, that's when Yuri's going to start making his march. That's when he's going to start throwing those, almost like, not like a jump, but he does this thing where, like, he'll step in and then throw, like, the left hand. Not like a jab, but, like, he'll step in and, like, fucking wing his left hand, like, straight down the pipe. Like, it's so... Oh, I can't wait for this warrior to get in there and kill this fucking fraud. I'm so tired of Khalil Roundtree. Listen, I like Khalil in terms of, like, lore, maybe? You know, former fat kids, you know, I'm in that camp, okay? I was once at a 300-pound mark, okay? Hand up, right? But I'm just sick of everyone talking about Khalil like he's a title contender. This guy could get a belt. Ooh, him on Kalaev sounds very interesting. No, he gets smoked. This guy's not built for, like, high-level fighters. He scraped away a decision against Jamal Hill. And that was a very shit Jamal Hill. Like, that was the worst Jamal Hill I think I've ever seen. And I think that's inarguable. Maybe Pereira took his chin. Maybe Jamal Hill wasn't fucking training. I think that was his reasoning on why he lost. Yeah, a lot of dumb shit going on with Jamal Hill. That was also after injury, Jamal Hill. After injury, Jiri Prochazka smoked Rakic. Ate Rakic's best shot. You literally... And people are talking about Jiri. Oh, he's been finished. He's been finished a couple times in the last couple years. He's been finished, guys. By who? Alex Pereira. The guy who hits fucking different. Okay? So, I don't want to hear none of this like, he got fucking KO'd before. Pereira did. Pereira is the king of KOing your ass, alright? He's the king of finding your weakness, and Jiri Prochazka's weakness was that he defended strikes with his forehead. Now he knows not to do that, so. I think we saw an improved fight, or an improved Jiri in the Jamal Hill fight. This guy's coming off education, bro. This guy is living life right now. I think he smokes Khalil. I don't think it's gonna be... I think it's gonna be close in moments, like, Yuri's gonna get wobbled, Yuri's gonna get cracked. I don't think Khalil hits that hard. It sounds like he hits hard. It looks like he hits hard. But just something about the way that people eat his punches, I don't think he hits that hard. I really don't. You know? He barely did anything to Pereira other than a couple jabs and a couple right hands. And really, that's all Khalil does. He kind of just does straight rights, straight lefts, and leg kicks. Like it's a basic Muay Thai tutorial. This guy doesn't do anything crazy, you know? He's good at basics. And you know who else was good at basics? Just saying. Anyways, moving on. We have Merab Dvalishvili versus Corey the Sandman Sandhagen. I am going with, shocker guys, Merab Dvalishvili. Yeah, I mean, it's not really... I mean, what the fuck is Corey gonna do? Some people are like, Corey's the best fighter Merab's fought. No, he's just not. I think Sean O'Malley's better. Genuinely, I do. If you want to talk about best grappling scrambles, sure, he's in that conversation. He's like a Brandon Royval, but at bantamweight, you know? But his striking is like piss poor, and he always cracks. Like, this is my thing. Outside of a wild spinning back kick, wheel kick, jump knee, outside of like a wild KO that he hasn't got in like 5 years, I don't see this guy winning anywhere. Like, Merab's gonna shoot a takedown, Corey's gonna scramble out, Merab's gonna shoot a takedown, Corey's gonna scramble out, Merab's gonna shoot a takedown, Corey's gonna scramble out. And in between those takedowns, Merab's gonna land 20 punches, Corey's gonna land 1. That's how it's gonna be. For every 1 Corey lands, Merab's gonna land 3. And they don't care if you stuff a takedown. They don't give a fuck if you scramble out of a takedown. The guy who shot the takedown is getting the score, the nod on the judges. He just is. That's how it is. If this was like, who's the better fighter? Corey Sandhagen wins. But this is who can win in a 5-round main event fight. And that is Merab Dvalishvili. I think we're seeing a improved Merab. Also, Corey's getting older. I know Merab's getting older, but age isn't slowing him down for some reason. Completely natural, no PED reason. For some reason, he's not slowing down. And had a resurgence after gassing out against Ricky Simone. Yeah, somehow. Gets a resurgence in his 30s. Anyways, but yeah, I just think Merab Dvalishvili is just going to be nonstop. He's going to do Merab things. Merab kind of has been slowing down in the 5th round. Like, he did slow down against O'Malley in the 5th round. I think this is going to look almost 1-to-1 like Umar Corey. And I think we're just going to see Merab push forward. Like, it's going to look a lot like Umar Corey, but this time on the guy against Corey, he's just going to get hit by more strikes. You know, I think Merab is just going to land way more than Umar did, but shoot even more takedowns. And Corey's going to be 2 in the fucking test tubes to try to scramble out. And he always cracks under high-level comp. He couldn't beat Peter Yan. I get it, it's Peter Yan. He couldn't beat Aljamain Sterling. He couldn't beat fucking Umar Nurmagomedov. Like, he cracks under pressure. He really does. He breaks when the lights are literally just too bright for Corey. That's just how it is. And outside of a wild move he does, I don't see how he beats Merab. I really don't. In a decision, I don't see it. And if we're talking about decisions, like, Merab's one of the kings of decisions. Recently, he got a finish against O'Malley, and I kind of rate that finish. I don't think he's going to get it this time, because I think, like, with the O'Malley getting subbed, I thought it was very much like O'Malley's like, this guy's not going to sub me. Oh my god, he's actually on my neck. Oh shit, yeah, I'm going to have to tap. And he taps, you know? I think Corey's going to be like, oh, he's on my back, let me not get choked. But then again, that's how Aljo got it. Like, Aljo got on his back, and Corey's like, how the fuck did he get on my back? And then he just got... God damn it, man. I'm going to go with Merab, though. I'm going to go with Merab decision. I think it's, like, a free pick. I mean, Merab is just, like... If we're talking about the better skill-wise fighter, it's Corey Sandhagen. But this isn't about skill. It's about who can win a fight. And that's going to be Merab. Holding you against the cage, kneeing you to the thigh, landing 15 jabs to your 1. That's just what Merab does. Moving on, Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. I sort of did a little bit of a breakdown of this fight earlier this week. Or I guess the week before, as of me uploading this. I'm recording this on a Sunday night, technically. Oh my god, it's almost 2 a.m. Holy shit, I gotta hurry up. But yeah, I technically already broke this down. I'm gonna be rooting for Pereira, okay? I'm gonna be rooting for Pereira. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Pereira fan. Don't get me wrong. I picked Pereira in every single light heavyweight fight. Every single one of them. I picked him against Jan Blachowicz. Confident he won that. I picked him against Jiri Prochazka. I was very confident he got that. He got that one. Picked him in the Jamal Hill fight. Got that. Picked him in the rematch, even though people like Guru were picking fucking Jiri. It's weird picking Jiri Prochazka in the rematch. You know, to each their own. And I picked him to beat Khalil Roundtree via Masterclass, and that's what he did. But the Magomed Ankalaev fight, I don't mind Ankalaev that much, and I picked Pereira in the first fight thinking, well, Jan Blachowicz buckled this guy's fucking kneecaps, so I think Pereira can do it because he's got better leg kicks. Well, Jan Blachowicz was landing big shots on Magomed Ankalaev, and Pereira hits harder than Jan Blachowicz. Well, Magomed Ankalaev is very boring, and he'll sit and stand in front of you. Pereira will bring the fight. And I was wrong. I was straight up wrong. Magomed Ankalaev's legs are made out of steel fucking beams during Ramadan. And he's able to eat better shot. Like, listen, I'm a Pereira fan, and there's ways I could spin that fight to a Pereira win. Alright? In my opinion, it was 2 clear rounds. Round 1, very clear Pereira. Round 2, very clear Ankalaev. The next 3 are pretty big toss-ups, and I even thought round 5 was like 65-35 for Pereira. That's what I'd give it. You know, I give Pereira the edge in the last round, in my opinion. But round 3 and 4 I thought were toss-ups, and they gave it to Magomed. The UFC doesn't want this Gargamel looking fuck at the top. Let me tell you. You know, after that draw to Jan Blachowicz, they couldn't give less of a fuck about this gremlin. They sent him to fight Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker didn't know where fucking planet Earth was. They had to do that fight again. Johnny Walker's a bum B-League fighter. Got smoked. Fights Rakic. Rakic turned off his leg kick ability, I guess. He forgot to spec into it when the fight started. So Rakic just got smoked, kind of, even though it was Jiri Prochazka sloppy seconds. and he gets the title shot against Alex Pereira. They don't want during Ramadan too, a time where Magomed didn't want to fight, but he still took it because he's like, this is my opportunity. I got one shot. It's my time to show. Something like that. Whatever the Eminem song is. But, yeah. Magomed had every reason to lose this fight. Ramadan. Pereira had, I think, he had a longer layoff, I think, than usual. I know he said, like, I'm not going to speak about my problems, but, you know, no excuses. And the implication is that he had medical issues, because he's had medical issues before all of his fights, and he didn't talk about it during that fight. I get that. But the thing here, Pereira's getting older. Yes, Ankalaev's getting older, but I don't think it's going to affect him that much. Ankalaev's feeling pretty fucking confident. I think this is Ankalaev all day. I think it's going to be a decision again. I think it's going to be a more dominant decision. Instead of those flip rounds, I think it's going to be clear rounds. I think we might even see Pereira get knocked down. Here's my take. I think Pereira and Ankalaev are counter-strikers, but they fundamentally work differently. So Ankalaev will not push a pace, he'll press forward, waiting for you to strike, and then counter off that strike. Alex Pereira will be on his back foot, waiting for you to strike, and then he strikes. And that's why the first fight, to me, is like, yeah, Pereira's just not winning this one. Despite him stuffing all the takedowns, they don't reward that. They don't reward you defending takedowns. You know? They really don't. They reward the guy shooting a takedown. So in my opinion, I think it's Ankalaev all day, every day. I think he could get a finish. I think it's very possible in the early rounds, round 1, round 2, we could see Ankalaev get a right hand down the pipe. Alex does struggle with straight punches, and Ankalaev's very basic. Ankalaev is basically the better Jamal Hill. In a way, he kind of is. He's very basic, he's very boring, he presses forward, and if you walk into his punches, you get smoked. So Pereira is going to be on the back foot, being like, why isn't this guy throwing, why isn't this guy throwing? He's going to get frustrated, there's beef with him already, he's old, he has his ways, he has his tendencies, he's going to try to go for it, and you saw it in the first fight. When he was on the back foot, there was moments, man, where I'm telling you, he was getting really frustrated, and you can tell, because Ankalaev would fake going in, and Pereira throws a full 3-piece and a soda. Like, literally to the air. You know, expecting Ankalaev to go in. He's not gonna do that. He'll leg kick, jab. Oh, you leg kicked me? Okay, my turn, leg kick. And then he'll wait, dodge the jab back. Oh, you hit me with a jab, 1-2. You know, like he'll be up on numbers, and he'll sit being up on numbers, and we saw him get rewarded for that. I can't pick Pereira to win the fight. If you want to tell me, if you want to say, hey, don't worry, Alex Pereira's getting the KO, I'm with you. All right? I'll be with you spiritually. Okay? But I can't make that prediction. I genuinely care about my picks. I can't be picking Pereira when I just saw him get, like, literally outstruck in an MMA fight. I can't see that, you know? And this fight is not really a short turnaround, but it is a turnaround. I think Ankalaev can finish in any round. Ankalaev showcased he's got 5 rounds of cardio. I'm not concerned about, like, the only thing I'm concerned about Ankalaev is him getting hit by a left hook by Pereira clean. But I saw him eat big shots from Pereira. So in my mind, there's no way for Ankalaev to fuck this up unless he walks into a Pereira shot. Like, he'd have to literally walk into it and get smoked. You know? And from the last fight, yeah, Pereira stuffed every takedown. So that's like Pereira, you did good. Now it's Ankalaev's turn to find a blueprint to get a better takedown. You know what I mean? Like, Pereira's not going to be shooting takedowns. He's not going to be going for sub attempts. He could, if he wanted to, but he's probably not. And I think we're just going to see moments where it's like, yeah, Pereira's 38 years old, you know? His run was great, and it'd be sick if he gets the KO win. That's what the UFC wants. I don't see it happening, though. So I'm going to go with Big Unk. I don't like this guy that much. I don't hate him. I mean, I do like strikers. he's not a boring fucking Dagestani wrestler like his brethren. So there's that. But yeah, you know. And another big thing is that Ankalaev, round 1 was Pereira's in the first fight because Pereira went for like 20 low kicks and Ankalaev didn't respond to a single one. After round 1, it was almost like Pereira's like, fuck, those aren't doing anything. And he just quit. So even if Pereira has a really good round 1, don't know if I can trust him to keep that same energy in the next couple rounds, you know? Like if Pereira wanted to, he could do the same thing he did in round 1 in the next couple rounds. Low kick, run away. Low kick, run away. But he doesn't want to. He wants to be a warrior. He wants to make it a scrap. Ankalaev doesn't want to do that. So it's not going to be a scrap. It's going to be boring. That's my prediction. We've now reached an hour in this video. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, I want to thank you for watching. And as always, I hope you have a good day.